So we've recapped all the percentages work that you need to know using a multiplier. So we're now going to look at applying this. So the long-term learning target is still the same. I can solve percentage problems using a multiplier. Your supporting learning target is I can apply my percentages, knowledge and skills to a real life situation. So we're going to look at the Halifax Kids Savers account. My daughter Anna has an account with this, so everything that we're going to talk about has actually happened. So it's really applicable to the real life situation that we're in at the minute. So the Kids Savers account gets 2% AER on balances from £1 to £5,000 and then 0.02% AER on any excess above that. AER is annual equivalent rate. So equivalent we know is the same, annual is yearly. So yearly you would get the interest that is equivalent to 2% of your balance, but it's actually paid monthly. So the reason why we get interest in our savings is because the banks want us to invest our money with them. The more money we put in their bank, the more money they have collectively from all the individuals for them to then invest and for them to get interest and make money. So the more money we put in their bank, the more money they have to invest, so therefore the more interest they can make. So we're effectively getting paid to put our money in there. So Billy has £3,000 in his Halifax Kids Savers account. How much interest will he have earned at the end of the year? So all we need to do, remember using our multipliers to be the most efficient we can be. 3,000 multiplied by 0.02 and you get £60. So at the end of the year he's got £60 interest. That's how much the bank's basically paying him for keeping his money there. What will his bank balance be at the end of the year? Remember to pause and make notes where you need to. Obviously you can just add that on to get 3,060, but if we didn't have that previous question, to be the most efficient, we would use the multiplier 1.02 and then that would work it out for us straight away that we're increasing it by 2%, so it'd be £3,060. Be really careful in exams and things, the wording of questions as to what it's wanting you to answer is the biggest mistake that I see all the time with these questions. It might say how much interest is earned and you'll do the total balance or vice versa. So still got 3,000 in his Kids Savers account. How much interest will he earn each month? So obviously we said it's 2% AER, but the interest is paid monthly. So all you have to do is get the £60, so you do the £3,000 multiplied by 0.02, but then we would divide that by 12 to give us it per month because of the 12 months in a year, so it would be £5 a month. It's a little bit more complicated than that because obviously after the first month you'd get £3,005, so then 2% of that is different. So it's a little bit more complicated, but for the purpose of what we're doing in the application, we're just going to stick to doing it this way. Then I get a letter through the post a couple of weeks ago saying that the interest rates on the Kids Savers account is going down. So instead of it being at 2% AER, it's gone down to 1.45%. And then the 0.02 has gone down to 0.01%. And that is because, and you'll have seen on the immersion part of the website, the articles and the videos, the Bank of England interest rates have hit all-time low. So because of coronavirus, the Bank of England, which is the national bank, has set their interest rate at the lowest that it's ever been in the Bank of England's history. Now they do that, when the Bank of England lower their interest rates, it's because they want to encourage people to spend more. So therefore they don't want to give them lots of money for saving because they want them to spend to help the economy. And you'll have seen it all over the news that obviously with shops shutting, restaurants, everything, theatres, people aren't spending the same amount of money, so the economy is suffering. So that's why the Bank of England has dropped their interest rates. So because of that, the savings accounts interest rates have gone down because they want us to spend money. So as soon as Bank of England changes their interest rates, the other banks like Halifax also drop their interest rates. Not necessarily by the same amount, but they will drop them. And then likewise, if the Bank of England puts their interest rates up, then the banks will also put their interest rates back up on savings. So as we start to deal with coronavirus in time, the Bank of England interest rate will go up and therefore our savings interest rates will go back up too. So if we consider Billy with his £3,000, what impact does it have on him? So how much interest will he now earn? So you'll just do 3,000 multiplied by 0.0145 And then if you put that in your calculator, you get £43.50. So instead of getting that £60, he's now only getting £43.50. So to work out his balance at the end of the year, if you didn't have that previous question, multiply by 1.0145 and you'd get £3,043.50. And then again, how much interest will be earned each month. So 3,000 multiplied by 0.0145, divide that by 12, and you get 3.625. Now, because we're talking about money, it needs to be to 2 decimal places. So 3.63. Remember to make notes where you need to. So it might not seem like there's a massive difference there. So instead of getting £5 a month, it's only getting £3.63. But we're talking in context, £3,000 a small amount of money. If you're thinking of businesses with the hundreds of thousands of pounds or the millions of pounds that we're dealing with, and governments, it's going to have a significant impact on that. We're going to look next week more in detail of the impacts on mortgages and loans and other things like that. So he's still got his £3,000 in Halifax account. What would his balance be at the end of 5 years using the 2% interest rate? So going back to the maths that you've recapped earlier this week, we're going to do £3,000 multiplied by 1.02 to the power of 5. And if I put that in my calculator, you get £3,312.24. How will Billy's balance have changed now that the interest rate has dropped to 1.45%? So we're doing the same calculation but with a different percentage. And you get £3,223.90. So you can see that the difference is just under £100, which you might think after 5 years it's not that significant. But again, consider the large amounts of money and the significance that would have. Right, and then lastly, it's just looking at the 2 different percentages depending on your balance. So anything up to 5,000 is 2%, but anything above that is 0.02%. So how much interest would Billy earn at the end of the year if he had invested £7,000? So you know for the £5,000, just for easiness, I'm going to do that from 0 to that 5,000 rather than the £1. You know you can multiply that by 0.02 to figure out how much interest he would get on that. So he'd get £100 interest for the £5,000. But the extra £2,000 he's got, he's only going to get 0.02% interest. So a lot of people think that if it's above £5,000, so if you had £7,000, then the whole interest rate's this. But it's not. You still get your £5,000 at 2%. It's just the extra is at 0.02%. So I need to do £2,000 multiplied by 0.002. And you get £4. So you can see how it significantly drops. So altogether, the interest would be £104. So what we need to be thinking is when you get to £5,000, is there a better place where we could invest that extra £2,000 and get a bit better interest rate? So it's really key to look at all these details when you're investing, because sometimes you just see this bit and the smaller one's not as clear.